Check, check, 1, 2. Alrighty, folks. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome to VPRL Round 2 of Series 10 here at the lovely Laguna Seca, one of North America's oldest, most challenging, and prestigious tracks on, oh boy, we're already off to a great start, huh? Just about 3 minutes into our 10-minute qualifying session here for, like I said, the second round of this Series 10 3-round championship using the GR3s. This Series 10, the North American leg of a bigger championship VPRL is hosting. Series 11 and 12 will be used for the European and Asia Pacific locations of the championship. Last time out, I don't even remember who won. It was a week ago. I've already forgotten, but it was a great race nonetheless. And we're expecting more to come. The M6s were very fast out last time at Watkins Glen, so we'll have to look and wait and see which... hello, someone's gone wide. It was... Where are you? Musso, yeah, there you are. So we'll look to see which of these fine GT3 machines will be best, and certainly which of their drivers will be quickest. With now just about 5.5 minutes remaining left in this session. Some names to keep an eye out for. James in the Lamborghini. Hopefully his livery will load back in before the actual race. It looks like he's currently stuck on the default livery, as is a bunch of our other drivers. So hopefully it will load in. Excuse me. Pabst, another name to keep an eye out for. Azrael was quick. MTB was quick. MTB, I believe, was our pole sitter. Didn't win last time out, but was certainly quite fast nonetheless. Speed had one of the drivers who got off to a great start. The Ferrari, always a threat on standing starts in this game. As was Alec, also another name to keep an eye out for, of course, and Wide. So, let's see what these machines can do. Just past halfway through the session. Let's see, is anyone here on a lap? Vernaza rounding the final corner now. I believe he's on a lap for the moment. We'll see what his lap time looks like as he runs it down to the line. Not any quicker. Paps is on an out lap. You have just started a flyer, so... Astral, I don't think ran last time, if my memory serves correct. I don't recall, anyway. James has just started a lap, so we'll ride on board with him. Making his way out of the Andretti hairpin, down now to turn 3, technically. This turn 1 is technically on the straightaway, then the Andretti hairpin is turn 2. I believe, unless this track map I've got is lying to me. Now beginning the long climb up the hill for this amazing facility through this high-speed kink, using just about all the track available to him. Not quite getting it all the way out on the AstroTurf. Playing it safe. Now through, I didn't, you know, he might have gotten a little bit of air through the corkscrew. Making his way down to the final two corners. Down this short straight, hard under the brakes now for the final hairpin. Gets it nicely rotated in, using all the track available on exit there. As he will run it up to the line, James will go a second slower. But he will continue on for another lap. Just over 2 minutes remaining. Alec crosses the line here to start another lap after having invalidated the last three. Or no, sorry, those were pit laps. Quite a wide line in turn one, but gets a turn back in. I think Alec was our winner last time out, if memory does serve me correct. I think. Nearly a tenth down, though, for the time being. Wide is back out on another lap. Makes his way through turn three, underneath the tire bridge. Still down, but not quite as much as Alec was on his personal best. James through the penultimate corner once again. Can he improve? Makes his way through the final corner now. A little bit of a squirm applying the power, but we'll rock it up to the line. 21.6 improves, but not enough to improve his position, though. Only 3 thousandths behind wide in the Porsche. Still time for one more lap here. Alec will round his way through the final corner. What can he do on this occasion? He still has time for one more if he wants it. 23.5, no improvement. But he will go again. Wide through the final corner. Can he improve at all? Back markers in front of him. Racing a bit. Improves by 0.2. Nearly only a 15 thousandths of a second separating him from pole position. He still has time for one more. James now up through the corkscrew one final time, as time will expire in now. Oh no, sorry, it is a 15-minute quali. That's my apologies, folks. There's still another 5 minutes. Plenty of time for these drivers. Either way, James through the final corner. Much better on exit that time through. Over the line now. No improvement, unfortunately. Has time expired? His car's been taken over. Yeah, there it is. Okay, that's great game. So time did expire. It just didn't tell me. Alec crosses the line, no improvement. Ken wide, steal pole position. Oh, careful with track limits there. We'll come up to the line. And nabs pole position by 38 thousandths of a second. Wide in the Porsche. Manages a 1:21.337. Pole position at the dying breath. A fantastic lap for him. Alec will have to settle for second. James will start in third. Musso in the other Porsche will start fourth. Big improvements for both of the Porsches over there showing at Watkins Glen. Azriel will start fifth. Verdaza will start sixth. Cashew will start seventh in the third Porsche. Pabst, the highest of the M6s, will start 8th. Long in 9th in the Acura. Astral, I think, 10th in the Mercedes. Octavio in the Ferrari will start 11th. Speed, also in a Ferrari, will start 11th. We'll try to get the or no, he's 12th. My apologies. Or did okay, I must have missed something. Speed will start 12th. CB Matt will start 13th. MTB will start 14th. Not at from pole position to starting dead last. Unfortunate for the M6 driver MTB, but you know, plenty of time to move up the pack. We get official word. We will start in 5 to 6 minutes. So sit tight, folks. We will have live racing action coming to you in just a couple minutes' time. Until then, yeah, top 9 all within a second. A great showing from all of these drivers. Very good showing indeed. Top 2 all very close together. James as well, very much in the mix. And then it's even closer from 4th down to 9th. Only 3/10 separating 4th through 9th there. Very impressive. So, all that said, typical VPRL race ahead of us. 40-minute race. Once time expires, that will be the final lap. 2 mandatory tire compounds to use, the soft and the medium. Obviously, if a driver wants to use the hard, they can. However, at least through our VPRL experience, shouldn't be necessary. Some cars better on their feet than others. It looked like the Mercedes was one of those cars last time out. As Azrael, or what? No, it wasn't Azrael. It was... Who was it? It probably was Vernaza then. Had some very good tire wear in his stints. But regardless, should be a very interesting race. Much of the field very flip-flopped after, or compared to their Watkins Glen qualifying results. Of course, in that race, James started 7th and very quickly made his way up to 3rd. This time he will start 3rd. Should be rather interesting indeed. There's now probably about 3 minutes to go until we get started. I'm going to take a moment to eat up and drink. So don't go anywhere, folks. We will be back in just a moment. Thank you folks for sticking around. Moments away from round 2 of Series 10. Qualifying has set our grid. You can see it over on the right hand side of your screen, or at least the top 12, as 14 of our best will take to the grid and sort themselves out over the course of this 40-minute sprint. Porsche, seemingly the dominant car so far, but we have plenty of time for another manufacturer to show that they have what it takes in the race itself. The session goes live, and we are ready as the drivers rev their motors as they await the lights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights come on. And we are go here at Laguna Seca, and it is a fantastic start for the Ferrari up front. James got boxed in by the other Porsche wide, had a horrific start to get going. Drops immediately back to 4th, probably 5th, maybe even 6th. Azrael already getting past him, Long getting around him as well. Unfortunately, a bunch of paint liveries not loading. Wide gets spun from pole to dead last, and it only took him 2 corners. Paps will wait up for him. He was the one who spun. He was the one who wide spun across the nose. Highly unfortunate. Musso now takes the lead. He was the 4th place Porsche. Had a great start. Was the one that was able to box Dean in. Alec, who had the other driver who had a great start, drops to 3rd. James now up to 4th. My goodness, a hectic opening couple of corners. As Musso now sets his sights to run away. James chasing him down, on both drivers on the softs. Alec also on the softs, as is Vernaza. Azrael, along, Speed, Cashew, and Octavio, your first driver on the medium compound tire. He'll be looking to run long. As is Astral and MTB. So those 3, 9th through 11th, or it looks like 9th on back to wide, obviously got spun. So it was 9th on back, running the medium tires. We had a car go wide here. Hopefully we can get a look as to what happened. Octavio and Cashew charging their way down into the first corner. Oh, there was a car stopped up front. Try to see that again. Unfortunately, don't think we're going to be able to catch it, but Vernaza runs it wide. He missed the apex. Very lucky to avoid clobbering the tire barrier. Very messy from these drivers in the midfield. Jump back up to 7th. Astral now up into P7. Octavio now into 6th. So a bunch of these soft tire runners probably just taking it way too aggressive. Trying to make up track position as quickly as possible. Alec sets the fastest lap of the race at 22.3, closing in on the back of James in the Lambo, who is in turn also closing in on Musso in the Porsche. Further back, Long now leads from Speed, your top 5. Octavio and Astral, 6th and 7th, wide back up into 8th after his first lap shenanigans. Azrael and MTB round out your top 10. CB Matt, Cashew, Vernaza, and Pabst round out the grid. But up front, it is Musso who holds a roughly 1 second lead. He's grown that by about half a second on this lap so far in that basin section of the circuit down in the dried up riverbed. As James now being hounded by Alec. Both cars on the soft compound tire. James really not, that car really not happy through the downhill of the corkscrew. As now he'll slot in line behind Alec, showing a lot of great pace in that Ferrari. And also seemingly a little bit better on its tires. Lap 4 has begun. Alec now with another purple sector. Having cleared James, he has now got his sights set on the Porsche in front. Gap slowly closing here. Was about 1.8 to start the lap, now already down to 1.6. Further in the back, Speed has gotten past Long for that 4th place spot. Wide has gotten around Octavio, who has fallen now behind MTB. Or, sorry, that's Azriel, excuse me. Azriel running the soft compound tire versus Octavio's medium, so that's why he was able to make that move so easily. Wide now looking to set up a move on the Mercedes, who goes wide. That should set him up with a pretty easy overtaking opportunity, especially with that tire advantage so early in the race. Only lap 5 now. Charges his way into turn 1 and will make the pass stick under the brakes with relative ease. Again, apologies back to the folks back home. I'm not entirely sure why liveries aren't loading, as Azriel runs it wide again. Cannot keep those left-hand side tires out of the sand trap, it seems. So now he gets a little bit of a shove from the BMW behind. Everyone kicking up a bit of dust as they climb the hill toward the kink. Astral again, running it wide. Slams it down on the brakes into the corkscrew. Again, runs it wide, slides it on exit. He's just overdriving it looks like. And picks up a penalty for it. Took too much curb through the corkscrew. Now he'll have to serve that. The game won't have him serve it just yet. He'll serve it next time by. Azriel fighting on the outside lane. Can he make the pass happen around the outside into the Andretti hairpin? Brakes a little earlier. I thought he might have maybe tried the crossover, just doesn't quite have the pace for it. Astral really holding him up here, as it looks like we have a battle for second going on right now. Alec has now gotten around Musso, and James looked to follow him through, just not enough pace. Musso able to carry the momentum on the outside lane, but he will try to set him up here on the exit of the corkscrew. Looks to the inside, will fire it in. Perhaps a tiny bit of contact made, but both cars keep it on the track, and James will now make his way up into second again. Musso really shredding those tires. Just sliding that front end massively. already 50% worn, give or take, on the right front. And we're only 8.5 minutes into this race. Not looking good for him if he wants to take that tire long enough to do an optimal strategy. He's going to have to really save if he wants to go the distance on the medium. No, sorry, 29 minutes remain, right? No. I can't count, folks. You know, it's been a long day, apparently. 10 minutes, 40 seconds, or 10 minutes. Oh my God, I really can't today. Wow. Math is hard. Top middle of the screen, you can see how much time is remaining. Bottom left corner, right by the tires, you can see how much time has elapsed. 9 minutes 40 have elapsed. 30 minutes, 15 seconds remain. Goodness gracious. You know, you'd think you wouldn't even need to do math because it's right on the screen. Nope, I was trying to do it myself, not paying any attention to it. Further on back, Speed continues to pull away. Wide now up into 5th with much better tire wear than his Porsche teammate. Not that they are teammates, just that they're both running Porsches. Long dropping back to 6th. Azrael up to 7th. Octavia running 8th. MTB makes his way around the Mercedes of Astrol into 9th. As Pabst will now look to make the overtake himself. Very defensive from both of those drivers. Contact there, wow! What on earth happened there? Right on board, MTB very defensive into that corner. Astral made the move work, and then MTB just slid across and into Pabst. Very odd. Pabst now closing back in on MTB. Oh, and MTB will go for a spin. Karma comes around and bites him in the butt. And he'll spin it on re-entry for good measure. He's better be careful here not to collide with those coming through. Pabst now into the top 10 with Azrael to chase. With Azrael to chase. We have lost an entry. We did have 14, now down to 13. Not sure who. Either way, closest battle on track for now. Yeah, well, it looks like closest battle on track right now is this battle for 9th. Astral once again running it wide through, I believe that's turn 4 or 5. As a resident American, we really need to figure out how to number corners better because this is just a bit silly. Either way, into the corkscrew. Pabst continuing to close in. I believe he did finish in the top 5 last time out. Might have even had a podium. I can't say I remember. But continuing to close in on that 9th place position. Roughly 13 minutes now into this event. Typical tire strategy for these events. You know, you run about 15 minutes on the softs, or you ideally want to go about 15 minutes on the softs. If you can push it to 20, that's even better. Obviously, you still do need to run the medium after that anyway. But for all those who started on the softs, they'll be looking to pit in about a minute and a half or so about a lap from now. Excuse me. Astral with a big slide of oversteer on exit. Perhaps not closing in though. Certainly very quickly. Both drivers on the medium, so it's not like Astral doesn't have a tire advantage. But we shall look further ahead. 14 minutes now into this race. Alec makes his way through turn 1. Trying to run away from James in second. James with a better run so far through this lower half of the track. Closed the gap from 2.5 to about 2.2. 2.1 now as he continues to close in. Oh, a little wide. A little wide will cost him about a tenth and a half, maybe 2. Lost a little more through the kink now in the uphill. Alec in the Ferrari, seemingly very good on the mountain itself, or the hill, whatever you call it. Battle for third now, Musso and Wide going at it, the two Porsche drivers. Wide with a much better tire advantage, and Musso will come into the pits. And just in time, 15 minutes have elapsed, so just about enough time. Though he will need to take it easy on the medium, I would have to imagine. Let's see, anyone else planning on coming in just yet? Doesn't look like it. Gap back now down to 2.5, 2.4 now. James about 0.3 faster so far on this lap. We'll see if he's actually able to keep it there this time through. As he rounds the kink, drops a little bit of tire into the sand, but doesn't lose much time, so holding on to it for now. Just that Lambo not very happy, it seems, through the downhill of the corkscrew. But still a ways to go. Still close enough where if he wanted to attempt it, perhaps he could pull an undercut. Speed now, next car in at 6 minutes 45. As you're around the final corner, Pabst, next car. And he will jump into the pits. First driver in off the medium. Looking to run 5 minutes longer on the soft than he has done on the medium. Matt now up to 8th as the pit cycle continues through. Not quite sure what the yellow flag was for. As we look back to our leaders, James holding steady so far, it seems, at about 2.7, 2.8. Not quite the exit he would have wanted out of the final corner. Wide now, next car into the pits. This round of pit stops coming at about 18 minutes in. Long follows him in the Acura. Azrael will stay out. Astral stays out as well. Musso has already made his pit stop. So top 6, or what will be top 4 now, still yet to pit. course, the longer these drivers run, of course, they're using more fuel, but they will require less fuel to go in, so perhaps a shorter stop on the cards for all these drivers. James with a 21-second gap back out behind him, so not quite a pit stop gap, but certainly getting there. Wide is 50 seconds back from the lead, and that gap is growing. As Alec now, first of the leaders, into the pits. James will stay out yet another lap. This is great for him. One of the worst for tire wear last time out at Watkins Glen, doing much better this time out. Alec will now perform the undercut and will hope to hold on to the lead through this pit cycle. The question, of course, obviously, whether or not A, he's able to hold on to the lead, but then B, how well can he manage his tires to the end? Obviously, he's pit roughly 5 or so minutes after everyone else, or the earliest of our pitters. He'll come out of the pits, running down to the pit exit, still under AI control for now. Now assumes control of his car on the exit, and will rejoin the racing surface 40 seconds in arrears of James, who is coming up to the pit entrance now. Does he make his pit stop? No, he stays out yet another. He will go even longer on the softs than he intends to on the medium, which I suppose is what a couple of other of the medium drivers who have already pit or intend to do. Very interesting indeed. 35 seconds gap back to Astral. 40 seconds back to Alec. Now let's watch this gap here. See if Alec's able to close in at all on the medium, or if the soft compound tire is still faster. Well, he had a very good final hairpin there. Gained a couple tenths, but not much more. Alec, I don't think, is gaining. That gap holding pretty steady at about 39.9, 39.8, 40 seconds. 18 minutes remain. He's very rapidly closing in on Astral, but he is not making the inroads you would expect him to make on James. Can he make the overcut work, I wonder? Well, he stayed out again as James. Oh, did he just spin? No, I'm looking at the wrong car. Who is this? Renaza has spun. Hopefully we'll be able to get a replay of it. I think we just about did. Exits the final corner, goes for a spin. I saw it on the minimap. I thought this was James on the minimap. Very lucky to catch this. Oh, jeez. Highly unfortunate. He is back going again. James did, of course, stay out. 36 seconds the gap now, so tire wear starting to kick in finally. Oh wait, no, that's only to Astral. Never mind. Alex only gained about a second so far. Certainly, if the overcut doesn't work in terms of getting him the overall track position, it could very well come into play when he has the fresher tires later in the running. Alec has not closed in very quickly here. Let's see, he's run 22.7, 22.7. Astral does come into the pits. He's gained a couple tenths each so far over the last couple of laps. That gap certainly is not closing very rapidly. Rounds the Andretti hairpin. 15 minutes, 30 seconds to go now. Gap now finally under 39 seconds. You'd have to imagine James come in now. You got 15 minutes remaining. Those softs have had it. Yep, there he goes. Finally into the pits. With a nearly 39-second lead. Now, having run so long, how much fuel does he need to make it to the end from here? Because he will absolutely have the tire advantage. Granted, Alec's mediums have not worn very much. Let's see, who's... Musso was one of our first drivers to pit. Those mediums last a long time. Damn. As he tries to fight against teammate Long. Alec already through and into the lead. James will exit the pit. Oh, this might actually be quite a gap here. MTB now into the pits. James exits, and he is 4.5 back. Probably 5 seconds back once he gets fully up to speed here. No, 4.5. So, freshest tires of anyone in the group. And a fuel advantage to go with it. A very impressive fuel advantage to go with it. Wide, you know, credit where it's due. Got spun out in turn 1 and has been on a recovery drive ever since. Has now made his way back up into the podium places and is continuing to hunt down James and Alec. Granted, he's got the worst amount of fuel of them, but he has caught up at a pretty decent rate. To be only 7 seconds off the lead after that horrendous turn 1, that's not bad. That is not bad by any stretch of the imagination. So well done, Wide. I keep adding letters to his name. I apologize for that. Musso now through and into 4th place, I believe. Speed into 6th, though he has a time penalty that he will be serving now for track limits. Car gets slowed down. Pabst goes through and into 6th. Can Azrael take advantage of it? Look to the inside, no room there. Tries to pass him around the outside, leaves him the space. Does Speed leave it back on exit? No, but he was clear, so all is fair. So Azrael will look to make the move somewhere. I just clipped the sausage curve. He's going to lose a lot of time there. Matt up into 10th place. MTB down into 11th. And Vernaza, now the last remaining car on track, receiving blue flags from James behind. So we have lost 2 so far in this event. And Vernaza will get out of the way. So, James, 5.3 back now. Alec continuing to pull away for the time being. But does he have enough fuel to make it to the end? He has nearly just as much as James, so I don't expect it to be an issue, but a fuel advantage is a fuel advantage nonetheless. And of course, all of these drivers able to control their fuel burn rate with all the engine maps that they have at their disposal. Now, James does need to be careful because Wide is still continuing to close here, now under 1.3 seconds. The Porsche seemingly a lot better through the corkscrew than the Lambo. Really able to attack the curbs without bouncing or getting air, whatever is happening with the Lambo and even the Ferrari. A little bit of a squirm on exit. We lose a bit of time. He will make his way through the Andretti hairpin, now 1.2 the gap to second place, as now we are finally 10 minutes, or under 10 minutes remaining left in this one. So probably not quite the barn burner as we had out at Watkins Glen, but certainly a lot more lap 1 action. The Porsche continuing to try to run down the Lambo. Back under 1.3. Much better run through the bottom of the corkscrew. Will continue to close the gap, reeling him in 10th by 10th, corner by corner. Right on board with James. Get a look at both time gaps. Yeah, that Alec is just continuing to run away up front. Just 8.5 or so minutes to go. And so, as we begin to set up for this dash to the finish between these two competitors here in this battle for second, just as a quick reminder to all of our viewers, live Gran Turismo tournament action coming to you from the Cobb Galleria in Atlanta, Georgia. This weekend, I will be flying out to broadcast on Thursday, so that will be very exciting. For both myself, for Scorpio Esports, and I'm sure all of you folks at home. Should be a very interesting couple days of qualifiers, and then of course the tournament finale on Sunday. Times potentially to be determined. If not, go check out the Carolina Game Expo or Carolina Game Summit website, CGS. There should be information on their website regarding registration for the tournament if you live in the area or somewhat close by and would like to come try to give your hand, give it an attempt. We'd be happy to see you there. James running it wide through turn 3. Through 4 now as he makes his way over to 5. 7 minutes remaining. And the Porsche continues to close. No doubt the Lambo coming under pressure. Up and to the corkscrew now. 6.5 minutes remaining. And certainly, this track has seen many a great finishes, especially in the GT category. over the years. The American Le Mans Series of 2011, their finish comes to mind, where a Porsche and a Corvette went at it in the closing laps. Jan Magnussen going at it with, I believe, Earl Bamber on that day. Earl coming out on top in some controversial, in a rather controversial run to the finish line. Though, of course, there were events preceding that. No side completely clean in it. Actually, the gap in the lead has come down a little bit again. 5.6 the gap. Top three slowly converging on each other, but with only 5.5 minutes remaining. James realistically needs about a second a minute here to get up to him. How's the fuel looking? About the same. Actually, Wide is the one who needs to be the most worried about fuel for the moment. So if he needs to make the pass happen sooner rather than later, realistically, if he wants a chance at it. And then just use defensive skills to keep James at bay if he wants a shot at that third or second place. Was it Musso who qualified on pole? I don't remember. No, Musso... Yes, no, Musso qualified fourth. Now I remember. You know, folks, it wasn't even an hour ago that I watched it happen, and I've already forgotten who took pole. That you know, if that isn't a sign, I don't know what is. Regardless, just over 4 minutes remaining. Gap to James has increased over the last couple of laps. I think Wide is now in fuel conservation mode to make sure he makes it to the end. James has knocked out a couple more tenths, but it's not enough if he wants to be able to get there. Alec is going to need to realistically either make a mistake or something else. You saw it there. He got air coming through the corkscrew that time. Still went through there faster than James, though. Oh, wait, hang on, coming back. Never mind. James really attacking the entry to these corners in that Lambo a lot more. A car he has been incredibly comfortable with throughout his career on Gran Turismo. 5.5 the gap. Just over 3 minutes remaining. In theory, there should be 3 laps to go. .3 the gap. Still continuing to close. Astral comes into the pits. What's going on here? Oh, he's run out of fuel. Hasn't paid attention to his fuel tank. Didn't pay any attention to the engine maps. That's a shame. He will lose that position to Matt here. He does not have time for a splash and dash. He might lose the position to MTB. Renaza in the pits, but he's been there for a while. He's retired the car. Alec up front, 5.1 the gap. Still realistically not enough. James needs probably a bit over, 2.6 seconds per lap if he wants to get there. Should be 2 laps to go. 5 seconds. Gap out behind him is not closing anymore. He is only looking out the windshield now. I don't think it's going to be enough time. But we've seen miracles happen. 4.9. 4.8 now. continuing to close. Alec getting very close on fuel now. Still got through the kink better than James. Can the same be said for the corkscrew? No, James went through there a little bit quicker. Not by much, but he did close. Alec will round the final corner, but this is not the final lap. Closing in on MTB. Crosses the line, still 40 seconds remaining. This it will now be the final lap of the race. 4.4 the gap. Does he have the fuel to get there? Does Wide have the fuel to get there? Wide is even closer to running out of fuel. He's in full fuel conservation mode now. Yeah, his full focus is now just making it back to the line. He's given up the chase on James. 4 seconds. Final lap of the race. Time has expired. 3.8 the gap. Drops down through the corkscrew. In theory, could coast it back to the line from here. Obviously not without James getting there first, but it's not going to matter. He has the fuel to make it. James can close the gap to about 3.3, 3.4, but it won't matter. Alec will round the final corner, crosses the line, flashes the lights, and will take victory here at Laguna Seca. James will cross the line in second, 3.3 the gap. It was an interesting strategy call, running as long as he did on the softs. Ultimately, didn't make a difference, unfortunately. Wide will cross the line with nothing left in the tank, on fumes. Will finish in third. Long crosses the line now to finish fourth. Musso will cross the line fifth. Speed will come across the line in sixth. Last car to run, or to complete 30 laps. Pabst will finish 7th. Azrael will finish 8th. CB Matt in 9th. Astra, after I believe he was the one who ran out of fuel before the end, had to make a second stop, will come home 10th. Just unfortunately lost the position to CB Matt. MTB will finish 11th, and Vernaza will retire the car in 12th, having been on pit road for over 12 minutes now. That will do it here for VPRL Series 10 Round 2. Once again, folks, I'm already forgetting the name. Carolina Game Summit, the Southern Fried Gaming Expo at the Cobb Galleria, Atlanta, Georgia. That will be our next event here on this channel. Coming to you live from the event. I will be there. James will be there. A bunch of our other regular pro drivers will be there. A bunch of familiar faces. We can't wait to see you all there, hopefully. Thank you all so much for joining us, and we will see you potentially next Monday. Not entirely sure, if that race is happening next week anyway, or if it will be postponed. No idea. So if VPRL Series 10 Round 3 is next Monday, hopefully see you then. If not, see you in 2 weeks for this same series. I've been TNR Blade. Thank you all so much for watching, and goodbye.